dear students, we are studying chapter number 2, that is the living world. In last video, we have studied about some characteristics of living things. These are growth and respiration. In today's video, we are going to learn remaining characteristics. So let us start the session with third characteristics of organism, that is excretion. Let us write here number 3, excretion. So students, what is excretion? Again, it is a process or characteristics of all the living organisms. Students, in our daily routine, we are consuming different food items. So what happens in case of all that food item? All these are absorbed into body or some remains back. Students, in last standard, we have studied about the digestive system, human digestive system. Let us recall here some part of that. Okay students, so in digestion what happens? We inject or we intake food with the help of our mouth, and after that it transport with the help of esophagus towards the stomach. Just suppose this is stomach or part of stomach, this is small intestine, this is small intestine, and this is a part of large intestine. Just imagine, and you can refer the diagram from your textbook too. So we inject food or intake food from our mouth. It comes towards the esophagus. Esophagus transport that food to the stomach, and sometimes it remains here. It remains into the stomach, and again that leads to the small intestine. It comes towards the small intestine, and here whatever the nutrients which are present in our food items, the nutrients which are present into our food atom, that are absorbed into the blood. The nutrients are absorbed into the blood at the place of the small intestine. Okay, and remaining part, which is called as a waste material of that food, waste part of the food which is not useful to us, it leads to the large intestine, or it moves ahead at the large intestine, and this part which is lead here, that is coming out from our body or eliminating from our body, and such process of elimination of waste material from the body is called as an excretion. So students, it is properly defined as the process of elimination of waste material from body is called as an excretion. Students, one question is there in your textbook, is that what is the waste material of body is called? So students, whatever the waste material present in our body and body of all the organism is called as an excreta. Excreta. Okay. So excreta is what? A waste material produced into the body during different life processes. So human body, it also produces sweat too, urine too. So all these are called as excreta, and these are coming out, eliminating from the body with the help of different organs. So students, this is about the excretion into the human body. So as well as another animals, these are also excrete some waste product, some excreta from their body, and they are having specific organs for that. So this is about the excretion into the animals. Now students, plants, they are also produces some waste material, and they also carried out the process of respiration. So next we will see excretion into the plants. Students, in our textbook, one activity is again given here to study this point. Suppose this is a plant, these are the leaves. Just see the diagram. These are the leaves. Suppose this plant into the okay. So if we tie a polythene bag to any of that leaf, suppose this is a polythene bag, we tied at one of the leaf of plant. Okay, and after some time or after 6-8 hours, if we observe that inner part of the polythene bag, then we can observe some droplets, some water droplets are saturated at the inner part of the polythene bag. It means that that plants are produces excess water in with the process of evaporation. Means excess water which is present into the plant, it leads out and it saturates at the inner part of polythene bag, and in this way plants are also excrete So some more substances are coming out from the plant. Sometimes we observe a resin-like substance, which is also called as a gum, resin or gum-like substances which are saturated on the stems or on the barks of the plant, and these resin or gum is the waste material produced by the plants. Okay, in this way excretion is carried out in some plants. One good example which produces large amount of resin, that is acacia. It means babul plant. It produces resin in large amount. Okay, so it is excretion in plant. Some more examples of plant. They produces latex. What is meant by latex? Again, it is a sticky or milky like substance which is present into the stems of some plant, and if we break that stem, it coming out, or latex is coming out from the part of trees. So this is about the excretion in plant. And also some plant in some seasons like winter, they shed of their leaves. Okay, so leaves are also produces some waste material, so that in specific season or during autumn season the plants shed their leaves. So this is the part of excretion inside the plant. So this is another characteristic, that excretion. Now coming to the next, that is responsiveness to stimuli. The next characteristics of living organism, that is fourth, responsiveness to stimuli. So students, let us study about this characteristic. Okay, so what is stimuli? Stimuli, actually it is a plural word, single it is called stimulus. Okay, so let us see what is stimulus and what are the responses. Okay, let's take here example. Suppose a light is flashed into your eyes. What happens? Suddenly you turn off your eyes. Suddenly or immediately you turn off your eyes. So it is the responsiveness from your eyes to the stimuli. And in case of this example, the stimulus is a light and your body or your eyes are responding to that stimuli. Means to the light. Let's take here one more example, that is when we entered into the cow shed, immediately that cows are standing up. So in this example, you are the example of stimulus, or you are the stimulus, and cows are responding to your movement, or cows are responding to this stimuli. Okay students, so some more examples. We can move here and there. We can move to get different things. This is also our responsiveness against the stimulus. To get anything, we stand up and we go towards that thing. It is also example of responsiveness to stimuli. So plants are also response. One good example, if we put the plant into the window, it grows in the direction of sunlight. So this is sun. So many plants or all the plants, these are only grows towards the sunlight. It only grows towards the sunlight. Means in this case, sun is the stimulus and plant responding to their action towards the sunlight. So again it is example of responsiveness. One more, creeper plants. We have seen different creeper plants, and these creeper plants are go towards the support. Suppose this is a creeper plant. Okay, so these are grow towards the support. Means here support is a stimulus where plants are responding to that support. To get a support, these are growing in the direction of support. All these are the example of responsiveness to the stimuli. Okay, every organism, it is a characteristics of each organism, that is responsiveness to stimuli. Now students, let us see about the movement into the plants and animals. So as we have seen here, we can move here and there. We can displace from one place to another place to get different things. Okay, so plant, they are also move. Plants are also move in the direction of wind to get the sunlight. They grows into different direction. For getting support, creeper plants, these are moving towards the support. So these movements are takes place into the plants, and for getting different things we are moving from one place to another place. So one question is there in your textbook is that what is the difference between movement of plant and animal? Movements of plants and animal. What is the difference between movements of plants and animals? So students, if we observe the movements of plants and animals, plants are only move at their one place. They remains at their one place till the end of their life, but they can move. They can respond. And animal, they can displace from one place to another place. So they can displace or they move everywhere. They cannot remain steady at the one position, and that is the big difference between the movement of plants and animals. So students, this is about the next characteristics, that is responsiveness to stimuli. Remaining characteristics we will study into the next video. Till then, thank you.